Hi everyone, welcome to a new restoration. Just showing you what I'll be working on next, which is a very old, somewhere between the 40s, 50s, 60s medicine cabinet, bathroom medicine cabinet. It's got a bathroom mirror on the front, as you can see. It's made of, I don't know what wood it is yet, but it's solid. Beautiful wood, I can tell. I think it might be oak, but I'm not sure just yet. It's got this thing on the end. I haven't figured out quite how it goes on yet. And it's quite a big piece. It's laying down, so you can't quite appreciate the size of it just yet. 2 shelves on the inside. It's sitting on my very clean stained towel that I just used to protect wood from laying on another piece of wood. So it needs a new back, obviously. So I'll be putting a new back on. It's got a bit of rust around the hinges. The mirror probably needs a really good clean, and I'll be disassembling that and removing all the paint, layers of paint possibly, and seeing what's underneath all of that for sure, and working it out from that point forward. I've really sped this up, but this is just me just trying to take the door off, and actually this took me about 20 minutes. There was so much paint congealed over the screws, which I had to remove layers of that as well, using a little bit of paint stripper, which for some reason the camera must have paused at that point. Just put a bit of paint stripper on the hinges, and waited a minute, and then scraped it all off with the wire brush and a screwdriver, and even then I still had a job getting them off. Very embedded. Yeah, got there in the end. Just getting the last of the screws out of the hinges, and then I'm just removing the mirror from the cupboard door and putting it away to keep it safe. Lots of water damage anyway on that bit of board, or some sort of damage anyway. I'm just using my carbide scraper now to remove some of the layers from the main body of the medicine cabinet, because it's a vintage item of anywhere from, I don't even know, honestly, 1920, 30 through to 1980. It could have lead paint in it, so I'm opting on the side of cautious and doing the paint removal outside. I do normally test for lead. I've got paint swabs, lead testing swabs, but I have actually run out. Order is on the way. So this just keeps me safe from, just in case in the 4 layers of paint there is a little bit of lead, there's some lead paint in there. So partly because it started to rain, and partly because for some reason this paint just doesn't scrape off that easily, and because of the size of the unit as well, it's actually quite hard to scrape it because it keeps moving because it's so light. So I'm opting to strip instead. Fast forwarding, all done, all stripped, and I've also just popped on top of it about an hour ago an oxalic acid treatment to remove black and grey stains that were on the wood underneath all that paint, and it's come up just on one layer of the oxalic acid, and it's come up very pretty. Hard to tell on camera probably, but very pretty. I'm happy with that. And just bringing it into the workshop now. It's not perfect, it still needs a little bit of work. There's still a little bit of paint here and there and in the hinges, so I need to get my smaller sander out, or my Dremel or something, to address those little issues that I couldn't get with the sander or even hand sanding. And just because it's so flaky, the paint on this hooky thing, I'm going to use my heat gun. Well, I'm going to try and use my heat gun anyway. And also just to showcase the good old-fashioned heat gun paint stripping. I hate paint stripping. I do it, I will do it, and I frequently do it, but I hate it. I don't find it satisfying at all. I like carbide scraping, and sometimes I forget. I sometimes go weeks and forget my heat gun's even in the drawer, and when I remember it, sometimes I'm thrilled. It's also very satisfying. Slow and satisfying, and less fumes. I still get some fumes coming off of a heat gun, but not as much. So I've taken that hooky thing apart. The two little things on the left there, if you can see them, are the hooks, and I'm just giving the all of the bits, the main body of the hook thing and the two little bits, a good sanding. And then I'm going to take them out and put them out in the sunshine and to give them a bit of a treatment with oxalic acid, because they are not coming up well with the sanding, which I can see, and you can't because my buff head's in the way. Sorry. Just showing you how badly stained these pieces of wood are. They need a good dunking. That's probably the iron from the watermarks and rust. Just starting on the door now of the medicine cabinet. Same process. Everything sanded. Door's looking fantastic. That's oxalic acid on it at the moment in my little jar there. That's looking better. And yeah, that's my little that's one of my little miniature ponies, Ollie. So I've treated all of the timber with oxalic acid, and now I'm just going to make sure all the oxalic acid is removed by giving all of the bits a good wash. There's our cat, McGee. We've only got one cat. He loves hanging out with me in the workshop, and I've put a little bed in there for him so he can come and hang with me whenever he wants. I'm just doing a final sand now before doing a stain using 600 grit sandpaper just on a hand sander, just to make sure all of the timber is beautifully smooth to the touch before I apply the stain. just starting to stain the door frame. McGee's threatening to jump up on my lap, and I don't want any ginger hair in my stain. So after having a careful look at the vintage glass that I took out of the unit, I couldn't use it. It was too scratched. It was very marked. It had like it was just really revolting actually. Nice piece of glass, but it really showed its age. So I invested with a new piece of glass that was cut for me from my local glazier, I think that's the word, which is to my right. So I've just got the door now, which is all finished. So I've actually now put 2 coats of stain on this, and I've already varnished it, and I'm just now siliconing in the glass to the frame before I attach the back panel, the new back panel. So if I can get out of my own way, what I'm doing here is I'm just literally just cutting a 3mm piece of plyboard that's a nice brand new piece to make the back panel, and I'll be doing the same thing, a back panel for the door for the behind the mirror to make sure the mirror stays secure. I look like a kindergarten child painting in school at the moment. I'm slapping it on there, but it is only a piece of ply, and it is only the backing, and ply is very forgiving. And once I run a rag over the top of the wet stain, it'll come up okay. I forgot to film the cutting of the backboard, so I'm just filming the cutting of the backing of the mirror backing. I should have had using a multi-tool. I've cut my piece of ply, I'm just doing a stain on it. I can't tell you how nervous I am here because this is the backing that's going on the behind the mirror, and I'm going to be using screws to put the backing in, well away from the mirror, but I'm quite nervous about cracking it. Having to go back to the glazier. Still don't know if that's the right word. So I've already done my pilot holes, and I had my drill on super slow, light on the trigger finger to avoid any vibration through the glass. Guess what? It didn't break. So it's not done, but I've just placed the door onto where it's meant to go, but the hinges aren't in yet. I just want to make sure it looks right and it looks really good. Glass looks good. And I made a decision about this Duvalaki that when I purchased this unit, the people that I purchased it off gave me this thing and I can't figure out how it belongs. So all I'm doing now is just the same process, just attaching the back panel to the entire piece. Just putting on my first coat of poly. So I'm using an outdoor clear varnish for outdoor furniture. The reason being outdoor furniture gets a lot of rain and damp and so forth. So I want my first layer of protection on this medicine cabinet to be that, because of the it'll be subject to damp bathroom conditions, and then I'll put another 2 coats on top of that. So I've done 3 coats now of the varnish on both the mirror door frame and the unit. So I'm ready to attach the hinges, and I think that's going to be it. So just attaching the hinges to the door, then I'll attach the hinges to the unit, and job done.